I thought you were supposed to dry the weed in the oven before you put it into the
No,
jar.
you could hang dry it.
Oh, what? Shouldn't you do that though before you put it into the
In the jar.
Jar?
Yeah. You let it dry on a line for like 3, 4, 5 days.
Just in the backyard?
No, just in a room away from the sun.
Let me ask. It's funny. We keep starting every podcast now talking about weed because the last time I had just gotten back from Denver or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when they made weed legal and Jess is leaving with the dog, I just recording because fuck it.
Yeah.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And episode 8.
8. Big number 8.
Big number 8.
Nice.
Infinity.
Sideways.
I have some interesting stuff for you today. It's been a while since we've been here.
It's been a little bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. I moved and you helped me, which I appreciate. But
And the place looks nice.
yeah, it looks good. Jess has been working overtime, getting it together.
Wow. It shows.
New studio here. The wilds of Mount Washington, Glass Hill Park adjacent.
It's funny. I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast. He got a new studio.
I saw that, yeah.
And this is like, we got a new studio too, Joe. So we're right on your tails, buddy.
That's right. We're so when they made weed legal, which was one of the kind of only highlights of for me, but not for you.
Of what, your life or
No. Of this last election.
Oh yeah.
Because they had it on the same. That was my joke about it. Was super funny. Was like everyone in LA,
right?
Like they made weed legal, and everyone in LA was like still so bummed.
Why? Wait, because
of Donald Trump.
Oh, right. See, I'm not on there. I'm just like, why were they bummed? Everything's been awesome, and it keeps getting more awesome.
I know that's your opinion, but I'm just saying, like, it was just really funny to me that, like, we've been waiting our whole lives for them to make marijuana legal.
Right.
And some people, I mean, I don't care anymore, but like if I was like my 14-year-old self would have been like, "That's right, Dad." Like, like nah, I can
in your
smoke
face,
it.
Dad.
Smoke fucking shit whenever I want.
Just blow this in a cop's face.
Yeah, you just have to stand there grooving on it.
Yeah. But everyone's so sad. They're like getting sad stoned.
I just love that fucking the night that they legalized weed. No one cared
Because everyone's crying and jumping on.
Yeah.
What a wild night that was.
Oh,
I'll have
God,
to talk
that
about
was so
that.
brutal.
That was,
I know my friends played a show that night, and they were like, "Come downtown," and I was like, "No, I'm not going downtown." And then like later, they're just like, "Yeah, it's horrible." Like everyone's just like really.
Dude,
out.
I was at the Black Boar, that
yeah.
place you DJ sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Women were jumping up and down on the bar.
Oh wow!
On the wooden bar
Angry?
there, just
Angrily?
crying, pulling their hair out. It was like bedlam, like
Yeah.
the institution.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it was insane.
Yeah.
Glasses were being thrown. It was really,
Wow.
It was really insane. And then me and my girlfriend were just sitting there like twiddling our thumbs, and people were coming up to them. They were like, "Can you believe this? Can you believe it?" And we're just like, "I know, weed's legal now." So.
Oh, cool! I just got an email saying that that my knife sharpener was getting delivered. I
Gotta keep those knives sharp.
It was funny when Jess and I went to do like went to see our friend's birthday the other night, and it was like at a karaoke thing.
Yeah.
And this girl that I didn't remember having this conversation with her came up to me, and she was kind of drunk at the party, obviously, and she was like, "You were the one," and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "You are the one that predicted that Donald Trump would win. You said it like a year ago," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh yeah, well no, I've been saying that, for a long time, And she's just like, "You said it." Like, couldn't believe that I.
And she singled you out, like.
Well, she was a friend of a friend, and I was at her house, I guess, like a year and a half ago, at some dinner party or something, and everyone was just like, Hillary's up in the polls and blah, blah, and I was like, Donald Trump's going to win, you guys. Like, are you insane? And there was like, and everyone was like, no way. Like, that's not going to happen. I was like, and I had just gotten off of like a U.S. tour with the band.
Oh, so you
I was
had
just
like the full.
Dude, I had like just talked to everybody for a month outside of L.A.
Yeah.
He's going to win.
That's crazy. Because I was in L.A. I didn't think he was going to win.
Well, I thought. most people didn't. And if you live in LA, you're not gonna think that, you know.
Yeah.
But if, like as soon as we got out of LA, like one of the first cars I saw had like a Donald Trump sticker on it. And
in
then
Idaho.
we started like this was in like Arizona.
Oh,
you
in
know?
Arizona, yeah.
But we kind of started like as a joke, like on tour, we kind of started like looking to see how many Donald Trump support signs and things like that we would see.
Nice.
And there was a fuck ton.
They're out there. The
like
silent majority.
And then there was like people coming to the shows to see the band. They were also like
wearing MAGA hats and stuff.
No, not like that, but just like whenever politics was such a hot topic now. Is like when we would talk about it, like people at the shows were like, "Oh yeah, fuck Hillary Clinton." Like it was the hatred for Hillary Clinton.
It was more hatred towards Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, which we've all established.
Because I feel like a lot of these Trump supporter people that swung the vote for him, they were ex-Bernie supporters.
Totally, they're young dudes,
and they all knew what happened to Bernie.
Yeah,
and they they couldn't stomach a vote for the person that did that to Bernie. That's all it boils down to.
Yeah, they're pissed off.
And
yeah, but anyway, so yeah, and what I was gonna say was like. Okay, so when they legalized marijuana,
right? They
said it's not actually legal until January 1st, right? What's the law in California?
January, maybe March or April or something.
Yeah. Well, I think it's January 1st, and that it's legal to go like buy it in a store.
Oh, right, like Colorado.
I think the night that it actually became legal, for you personally, you were legally allowed to have like 6 plants in your yard. You were legally allowed to have like an ounce on you at all times or something like that.
Oh, that already happened.
Yeah, that's already happened.
It just went by and nobody noticed.
I think that's what they said the first day, but like as far as like going into a store and buying it, that doesn't happen until January 1st, you know.
Yeah.
So I think if you're drying your weed out and you're fucking next to your laundry, you're fine.
Yeah. Things are looking good.
That's the point of the story. Here's what I got.
Yeah. Big week for crypto.
What a week.
What a week.
This is fucking crazy. You know what? Yeah. I should have fucking log into Bittrex here just so that we can that's my preferred exchange. What I was going to say is I got a text from someone, a mutual friend of ours this morning. I'm not going to name names.
Can you code name? Because
I'll tell you after the podcast. Cool. I just don't want to I just don't want to say her name on the podcast, just because I know how angry you're going to get. But I got a text from a mutual friend saying that, the 24-hour high on Neo is 41.
40 something, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Saying that she got into cryptocurrency officially.
Oh, good for her.
And I said, did another one of our mutual friends show you, hook you up or whatever? And she was like, no, my brother. And I said, oh, did you got Bitcoin or whatever? And she's like, no, Ripple.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
And I was like, oh man, I can't wait to tell Strider.
Oh my God.
He's going to be so pissed. And she was like, why? And I was like, he hates Ripple.
I can't even really say enough bad things about Ripple.
Can you explain to what? Because we've never really talked about Ripple on here because I know how much you hate Ripple. But can you explain what Ripple is?
Well, I don't want to trash it too hard because there's a lot of people that don't know anything that think it's going to be huge.
Right.
And it worries me when a lot of people that don't know anything get in behind something. Mm-hmm. Because if you try and spread the truth about what's happening, share news articles, it just deflects. Because so basically, Ripple was invented. It was a project that was started actually before Bitcoin. They claim on their website.
I had no idea.
It was, and so it was. It's a proof of. They just created a bunch of Ripple out of nothing, basically. There's no mining.
And the symbol is XRP, right?
XRP, yeah.
And the cap on it is ridiculous.
38 billion, or the supply of Ripple is 38 billion.
Right.
So
there's no mining on it.
No mining.
It's
they
just
created
a
out of
digital
nothing.
Currency created out of thin air.
There's ties that are worth looking into with it to the Federal Reserve. Mm-hmm. And Chase Bank, I think.
This is why you don't like it.
It's why I don't like it, because it seems very organized, very centralized, very part of some government entity.
Right.
And
it's supposedly backed by banks or whatever, possibly.
yeah.
And I think that what attracts people to Ripple is kind of like this idea that maybe it's like a safe version of cryptocurrency. Because
Yeah,
it's backed
sure.
by the bank.
That's
It's
the
like,
one positive thing I guess I could see being
I
said,
don't know
said
if
about
that's
Ripple.
positive. I'm just saying people say it, and I think that maybe people take that as a positive versus whether it really is a positive.
Right.
Because our whole point is like we're fucking outlaws, dude.
Yeah, it's the Wild West. I don't want the Chase Bank knocking on my door and
You want to
saying,
rob Chase Bank? You don't even fucking buying their shit.
A story I have about Ripple is the guy who invented it, Jed McCaleb.
Jed,
For your namesake, this guy Jed McCaleb. We've talked about him before on the podcast.
we have.
He's the guy who made Mt. Gox.
Oh my god, this guy sucks.
Well, he sold Mt. Gox to the French guy Mark Karpalès. So he doesn't suck, but he
okay.
kind of does suck for having the judgment to sell it to that guy.
Right.
You know, it's
well,
like
he sold it to a guy that he knew.
That-
He knew that guy didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
and he probably didn't give a fuck because the
didn't give a
guy is
fuck.
like, I'll give you $1 million dollars.
It's
or
like
whatever.
if you like sell some piece of shit car to some guy that doesn't know anything about cars, and you're like, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, cool, it looks cool," you know, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, man, it's gonna
And
be
he
great."
just
And then
drives
the guy
it in the
fucking
ground and-
crashes it into a bunch of people,
And a bunch of people are like, oh, that was my fit. That's
and,
like
and you're like,
awesome
"I
car."
told you didn't have brakes. I didn't tell you."
So Jed McCaleb, yeah, he sells Mt. Gox to this Marco Paulos guy. Marco Paulos steals millions of dollars of Bitcoin from people.
Right?
Well,
Is he in fucking prison yet?
oh man, there's some news about him. I wish I had the internet to pull it up, but it's really sad
I have
what's
the
going
internet
on.
right here.
Yeah, pull up what's happening with
Is he the
with
new?
he's getting everyone's
harassment?
Bitcoin. No, he's getting all the Mt. Gox Bitcoin for himself.
He's getting it.
And everyone that had Mt. Gox Bitcoin on Mt. Gox when it crashed and went down is getting their Bitcoin back at the Bitcoin price in 2012 when it crashed. So there's people that are like, whoa, I should have.
Whoa. Say this to me again. Okay, twice burned. Here's what it says on
Yeah.
Reuters. Twice burned. How Mt. Gox Bitcoin customers could lose again.
Double Goxed.
More than 3 years after the demise of the Mt. Gox exchange, its customers still haven't received a crypto cent. Here's why. So what's going to happen? Sorry, I know people who are listening heard you, but I typing on the internet.
No, there's the settlement, and he got the Bitcoin from the settlement, something in the billions, and everyone that's getting their money, they're supposed to get their money back at some point.
But they're getting the old price
But
back.
he's getting the Bitcoin, and they're getting the
fuck
old
that
price
guy.
in Japanese yen. They're paying them back in Japanese yen.
What the fuck?
So they got Gox again. It's crazy.
That's fucked up.
But it has to do with Japanese law, like
Yeah,
their
yeah.
bankruptcy court laws.
Sure.
It's some weird, sketchy thing like that.
I mean, and we've talked about this before. I have a friend who, he got into Bitcoin. I think he told me he pulled his fucking Bitcoin off of Mt. Gox
Dude.
a week before. all
That's
that shit
like the
went down.
bullet dodging of a lifetime. He did the Matrix twist bullet move thing on that.
Dude, it's so insane.
Because so many people, they lost $300 million
Oof.
at the time. It was, and now it's even more. Now they lost.
Oh God.
God, I don't even know, in the billions. Probably.
How do you fucking live with that?
You don't. All those people gave up on Bitcoin. I'm assuming I
Yeah.
would have if I lost all that money, and that's why there was this sort of stagnant lull of Bitcoin for
Maybe they gave up on their life.
A lot of them did. It's funny you should joke about that. 'Cause
I'm not joking. I'm not joking at all. I wouldn't
on
joke about that.
on Bitcoin on their subreddit. I remember back in the day there was all these links to like suicide watch, like
Yeah.
hotlines and subreddits and that kind of thing for support groups for people that were so depressed from losing.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You know.
It's like when the stock market crashed and these guys were jumping off buildings and shit, like in the 20s.
Yeah, it was like a mini version of that. Okay, so that guy, Jed McCaleb, started Mt. Gox, sold Mt. Gox. While he was selling Mt. Gox in his downtime, he basically created Ripple.
Okay.
Or finished it off for whoever he was working for. I don't know. It's kind of... You need to do a little more research on this, but Jed
Right.
McCaleb made Ripple, and at some point he got out of it because now he's working on the he worked on Stellar Lumens. It's this other cloud storage kind of cryptocurrency thing. But so
What's
he,
the guy that does shapeshift?
I don't know.
Okay.
But wait. So the point of this story is, so he gets out of Ripple. At some point, so after he leaves Ripple, he has like some sort of share. They paid him off in Ripple. He has like 17 billion Ripple,
Right.
or something. That's his payment for making it.
Half of the Ripple.
And he goes to sell it at some point, and he sells too much of it in their mind. I'm forgetting who this is. It might be the Federal Reserve, Chase Bank, someone who the entity that hired Jed McCaleb. They sue him because he's selling too much Ripple, and they settle for $1 million in court.
Okay.
So it's just crazy that there's a currency that this guy's that he invented. He's then trading it to sell it for Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum or whatever the hell, and they're like, no, you can't do that. We're going to sue you because you're selling too much of it.
Right.
Like, that's the definition of a centralized currency.
Right.
No one should be able to sue someone for selling
anything.
I mean, I guess it's like they're considering it like a share of stocks, I guess.
And they're almost considering it like insider trading or something, like when Martha Stewart went to prison.
Yeah.
And Ripple is like, the symbol is XRP, I think.
Yeah.
Ripple. And then what's one Ripple worth right now? Like, it's
had a few jumps lately, but nothing significant. And if you look at it, we should also talk about this because we've kind of hinted at it on the podcast, but like Satoshi value, Bitcoin value versus dollar value.
Right.
Like Ripple dollar value hasn't changed much in the past few months.
Right.
It went to 30 back in June.
$30?
30 cents.
Right.
It's always cents.
Yeah,
I'm not talking $30. It's never been $1. It will never be $1.
You
but
heard it here first.
It goes
never be a fucking dollar.
We can get into why it will never be $1 later because I have a theory on that people are talking about online, which makes sense. But basically, we're spending too much time talking about how bad Ripple is.
No,
but
it's a fucking podcast. We can spend that much time.
It's true. You know, Joe Rogan does this for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah,
whatever.
He's got a new studio.
Look at him with this virtual reality.
Got a new studio.
We gotta stay on topic though. So yeah, Ripple is it's remaining steady in dollar value, but the Satoshi value is like just steadily declining, which means if you put $1,000 in Ripple back in June, you're still gonna have like around $1,000. But if you wanted to trade that back into Bitcoin, you're gonna have way less Bitcoin.
Right.
So when these like conspiracy theorists,
because Bitcoin's going up.
It's because Bitcoin's going up, but people are willing to spend less Bitcoin for Ripple at this point in time.
Right.
Because I don't know, you just got to do your own research on this thing. I'm not a big fan of Ripple.
Yeah, no, that's why I asked you this fucking thing in the first place.
But you know,
okay. So on my notes this week, the first thing that I put on, the first thing I put on the line,
numero uno,
neo stagnation.
Well, cross that off the list.
I know I can write it off. That's what's so like. It's almost fucking doubled in the last. Well, it's done about 40% gain in the last 24 hours.
Do you know why that is? Did you see
my
tweets about the thing?
No, I've been off Twitter because of like all this like what do you need?
I put my phone somewhere.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. You've been off Twitter.
Well, I've been off Twitter just because of all this like sexual harassment stuff that's like coming out that like there's just so much.
You don't want people to call you, find you on Twitter, and
accuse you of something. I'm saying that like I'm like reading too much of it on Twitter. Like there's too much like stuff being said on Twitter. Like that it's like I'm trying to just go through and like read about Bitcoin and stuff like that. And there's so much like I basically have to like go through and just unfollow a bunch of people because there's
just make a crypto Twitter, or we could do Tales of the Crypto.
I've been using Arns. It's just that like when you sign up for it, it automatically imports other fucking contacts and things that you've had in the past, you know, and I just need to go through our Twitter. Yeah. And that's the only one I really look at anyways. Yeah. And I just need to go through ours and like filter out a bunch of the people that we're following because then it's just like the news cycle of Twitter and all these things. So anyways, I haven't been looking at Twitter as much as possible. Yeah. Because of that. But I did see, because I just was like, fuck it, I'm going to search Neo because I'm watching it rise, that there's some announcements coming up.
3 days.
3 days from now.
Big announcements.
What are they?
There's theories. No one knows what they're going to be.
But the theory is that it's sort of being accepted by the Chinese government and that there's going to be a Chinese exchange for Neo.
Specifically for Neo, and they're going to start having ICOs again in China because there was this ICO ban, basically. So the theory is that they're going to lift the ban on ICOs, and you're only going to be able to initial coin offerings for these new cryptocurrency industries, whatever, businesses, and you're only going to be able to pay for them with Neo, is what they're saying.
Gotcha.
theorizing. It's all theory at this point.
Right.
But yeah, there was this
Not
crazy
unlike
like
Ethereum.
Chinese.
Yeah, I saw
You
this
know,
Chinese
poster
thing. I've
thing.
seen this Chinese poster in.
There's the translation.
Oh, okay. I didn't see what it's in Chinese. What do you call Chinese letters?
Mandarin?
No, like the actual
Kanji? No, it's Japanese.
No, I can't remember what it is. It's like Wan or something like that.
Hmm.
I don't know. By the time you read this, you're already standing with Neo on the path. On the path of the world. Change 3 days to something happening. Until then, life is good. Okay. Cool. Sell everything and buy Neo.
That's what the Chinese are saying. Until everything life is good. It doesn't sound positive though. That sounds kind of ominous, you know?
I don't know. Well, we've seen a real increase in the price and activity and trade volume because of this prediction. And you know what? This is the classic situation. See, what I should have done about a week ago was, Bitcoin had gone down to about, I think the low was around like 5,800 maybe.
55.
55.
That was a few days ago.
That was a few days ago. I mean, in the last week, yeah. But yes, a few days ago.
Oh, there was that huge Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin fiasco.
Yeah.
I guess we could touch on that.
We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But, I wanted to pull the trigger then. I didn't have any extra cash lying around at the time. I think I missed it by a couple of days. But it's, and then went back up to...
Just snapped back up.
Snapped back up to almost like an all-time... Almost 8.
I think 822. 8,000.
Did it go over 8?
It went over 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it went back down. Okay. But what I was going to say on that is, this is my question.
Who's buying at 8, though?
Well, I think some people were, and then...
I guess you could buy a little bit. So
yeah, you can buy a little bit. What I would like to do is what I always say I'm going to do, and sometimes I've done it and sometimes I haven't, but what I'd like to do is buy the rumor, sell the news. So
the old saying.
Neo here.
You're trying to buy the rumor.
What's that?
So you've already bought the rumor.
Well, I've already bought Neo.
Yeah.
What I want to do is
sell the news.
Sell this fucking Neo in the next few days.
But what if the news is so big?
That's what I'm saying. That's where the difficulty comes in. But I don't care anymore. I want to try, because what I want to do is I want to be able to sell the Neo for profit and then buy more when the price inevitably goes back down, which it always will.
Yeah. But you got to be careful with these cryptocurrencies.
We've seen this so many times.
Time and time again. You just got to time it right. But it's like...
But if I had the fucking cash sitting around to buy the Bitcoin, I would have bought some, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And I have this Neo here sitting on.
So you want to just try and watch the market?
As soon as this announcement happens and I see it starting to go down, I'm going to sell it all. And then see how low I can get back in at.
That's Jed's plan.
That's my plan.
Well, now you're telling everyone your plan.
Who's everyone? I don't know who fucking listens to this. It's not the amount of people that listen to this podcast is not going to affect the price of Neo yet.
But what if there's one person with like 10 grand, 20 grand? He's like, I'm just waiting for. Oh, Jed, that's a good idea.
There's some Neo whale.
That's a great idea, Jed.
Okay, God bless him. I mean, like that.
Because then he'll buy the dip after the news.
That's right.
See, everyone's thinking like that, though. You kind of got to do the opposite. I don't know what the opposite is of that. But if everyone, you got to just, I don't know, it's weird. Like I
don't have enough Neo, though. I want more.
I know.
So I got to figure out a way to get more. And I got to take a risk here, And if I just sit here and take fucking, wait for it to go up and up and up and never do anything. I mean, that's the whole thing of, pigs get slaughtered. So it's like, if you all you care about is profit, eventually it's going to bite you in the ass. So you take what you can get and you move on, But like if I don't sell it, I'm never going to be able to buy more.
Unless you just buy more with cash you got.
Yeah, I know, but I got fucking bills to pay, dude.
It's tough to do that. You're talking about day trading. That's not easy.
I'm not talking about day trading. I'm talking about month trading.
Month trading?
Like when something actually fucking happens.
Yeah.
Because it's been at $26 fucking for like too goddamn long, and I'm getting fucking bored sitting there looking at it every day.
Dude, it's okay. Do you have your Neo staked in your wallet? Because you
Yes, I
won't
have
get
it.
bored with your Neo when you're watching it make you gas. And you're like, oh, now I could send some gas to my freaking Poloniex account and start buying stuff over there. It's like, it's small amounts now, but
I haven't gotten there yet.
yeah.
I am. I have
Wait,
my.
what do you mean there? You don't have a Neo wallet?
No,
The
I
Neo?
do. I do. I'm not. I don't. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm using my gas to buy other things. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I have a Neon wallet. I
Yeah.
have the latest version.
No. Dope .05?
No, it's .07.
Oh, I got to update.
Big boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
They're moving.
yeah, fast. It's pretty. The way they have it set up now is really neat. Though.
Really?
It has like the Neo tracker,
Oh, nice.
Neo to gas. Everything's like built into it. It's pretty fucking cool.
And it's fast.
It's super fast.
It's
The
so
new
crazy how fast it is. People are complaining about Bitcoin
I
transaction
had the wrong
fees. They're waiting.
fucking address. I was using the wrong key.
Don't make that mistake again, Jed.
I was using the wrong key for.
That's the way people lose money in this stupid world. They're like, and then they go to their friends like, Bitcoin sucks. I lost 15,000 because they do the wrong address. You know, it's like,
Well, I haven't ever. Jesus Christ, that was loud. I haven't. I got too excited. I haven't ever sent anything to the wrong address. I was just using a key for an old wallet for my new wallet, and so when I was going in there, they were showing when I put in the key, it would show the old wallet which had a balance of 0 because I had sent everything to the new wallet.
yeah.
That was the problem. So,
So it's
every night before I go to bed,
yeah.
I'd have Jess hold up flashcards, and I go capital K, lowercase b.
You're memorizing your
eight,
no. Don't.
two,
Okay, stop right there.
K.
You're gonna tell someone
onion,
your private key.
spaghetti.
It's good to memorize it though. I might.
No, I know.
You know.
Well, and also here's the thing is and I have it in a I haven't memorized it all yet, but I'm working on it. Mm-hmm. It's really fucking long, and really I don't like having to type it in every goddamn time. It's so fucking long.
Yeah.
So I'm memorizing it, but also I have it in a piece of paper. Everything's written down.
Ziploc bag for moisture, and 2 pieces of paper.
Yeah.
2 separate locations.
Yeah, I only have one, and it's not in a Ziploc bag. I'm gonna make another one, and Ziploc bag them, and it's hidden where only Jess knows.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her that if upon my death, to get the piece of paper and then find Strider. So she has very clear instructions because no one else is going to know what to do.
Someone will know, but I'll help her out. I
Yeah.
mean, in the untimely event of.
I don't want you to steal all my money though.
Yeah, I won't.
And you can marry her, but after a year of my departure.
That's the deal. What am I getting out of this?
What do you mean
Oh, I
you
get the
all my-
opportunity to just steal your Neo,
You get
which
all
I
my
won't
money
do.
and Jess.
Don't worry, Jed. You're gonna live till like 100.
It's like $3,000 and a white lady.
Which is like another $3,000
Yeah, these days. Okay. Anyways,
in bills. You don't let me finish there.
in bills.
Another
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Right out.
gosh.
Jesus. Trump supporter. Terrible. Oh, jeez, Louise.
Neo supporter. So yeah, Neo gas is doing great.
Yeah.
Neo's Trump's. So yeah, I tweeted
How's your
about.
Trump coin.
I don't have any Trump coin. I sold it for Putin Classic. No, he went to China, right? Trump just came back from China.
Only funny to us. Yeah.
Lo and behold,
He got Leangela Ball out of prison.
got these freaking thieves back playing in their game of choice at UCLA, which I think,
They're
and
suspended, though.
well, at least they're alive. At least it wasn't some North Korea prison kind of thing.
My only sort of thing, exactly. But my only thing, the thing that's the most confusing about that whole thing is like the one guy drives a Ferrari
Yeah,
already.
yeah,
So then he gets arrested for stealing $900 sunglasses.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, but like, don't do it in China, dude.
Why?
Like,
Yeah.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever, like, China?
Don't do anything in another country that's not looking at a statue. or a piece of art or something. You know, it's like, why would you, or buying something. I don't know. Just don't steal or break any laws in other countries. What's wrong with these people? That guy in North Korea stealing the poster.
Yeah, I
You got
know.
these
In North
people
Korea,
shoplifting.
I know the guy in North Korea that stole a poster. He's dead now, right?
I think he died. Yeah.
Yeah, because they ruined his brain and then he died.
Dennis Rodman got him back, and he died when he got back.
And he stole a poster.
Yeah.
I just I don't understand. Remember when when we were kids, the guy spray painted all over.
Oh, I was just
Singapore?
thinking about that.
And then
he got caned.
Yeah.
Bill Burr had a really funny. There's a video of his podcast where he's talking about this video of a guy getting caned. You should look it up. It's really funny.
I think I have seen that, but yeah.
Where his butt cheeks are quivering, and it's just really it's really sad what they do,
so
but it's also kind of funny. It's weird.
But after that thing happened, that was such a big story.
Yeah.
That was that one thing happened, and then not that I would do it anyways, but after that, I always thought to myself, don't ever break the law in another country.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Don't know what
their laws are.
Yeah.
You know, don't smoke weed in Thailand.
Yeah.
Don't, dabble in the dark market in all these weird countries, or don't do. I mean, it's basic. It's common sense.
It's so weird. So anyway, Trump went to China,
and people are theorizing. People being me, that he, I'm spreading it on Twitter.
I did see this. I did see that as soon as he went to China, that we signed some massive trade agreement with them.
Hell yeah, a neo-based trade agreement.
Oh, this is where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain to me what you're theorizing here.
I mean, that's what I'm theorizing.
That
his enormous deal has something to do with Neo
and this announcement coming up.
Possibly.
You think it has to do with Donald Trump?
They love him in China, though.
They do love him in China, but yeah.
I think that's great. They love him in Russia. They love him in China. There's a small portion of Americans that are being told not to like him.
They love him in the most repressive places on earth.
Not North Korea.
Well, yeah, I know, but no, North Korea is might as well be fucking Mars, dude.
Yeah, but that's the most oppressive place on earth, probably, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, they don't. But that's it's another planet,
I don't think Russia's that oppressive.
Well, it is to gay people and immigrants and things like that. It's not.
Well, we don't take it into politics. But
no.
Did you watch the Putin interview with Oliver Stone?
No, I gotta watch that
because that's very telling. And they talk about the whole gay thing, and it's not as bad as people make it seem.
I have.
They basically say they don't want propaganda being spread to children.
Right.
That's all they say about it. They say you could be gay whenever they, at a certain age. I think they have. 18, 19, 16. I don't know what it is.
I'm just saying that
But they don't want freaking 6-year-olds being transgender.
Sure,
kids,
I get that.
thing,
but Russia and China have notoriously been our enemies, though. Communism, and then the USSR, and the Cold War.
Yeah, let's put that behind us. Why do we need enemies? It's 2018.
I'm not saying that we need to be enemies with the Russian or Chinese people. I'm just saying that the classic idea of our governments being at war with each other. I'd like to see a little bit more transparency as to why we're all of a sudden friendly with them. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well.
You know what I mean?
Watch the documentary with Oliver Stone.
I will.
Because it has to do with
we've
been fucked up to Russia. We have all these bases pointing missiles at Moscow all over Turkey and everything. It's the same thing since the Cold War. It's like Khrushchev and Kennedy kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The whole. I was listening to Dan Carlin's.
Hannity and Colmes, or what was that show where didn't Sean Hannity have a show where he was it was a liberal guy and a conservative guy?
I don't know, but there should be more of that in this day and age.
There used to be a lot of
there
that
used
stuff,
to be
now there's not.
Now there's not. I have I think I've mentioned it before. My liberal friend, who I've been friends with for 15 years, decided not to stop talking to me.
What?
Yeah, this past November. I haven't talked to him for a year.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard of people saying they won't talk to their parents because they voted for Donald Trump and things like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I saw him once in January, post-election, and I went up to him and was like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" We were at a Werner Herzog. There was a Werner Herzog screening at the Aero Theater in Santa Monica, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" And he just looks at me and he's clenching his fist, and he's like, "Oh, I guess you're really happy now about Trump." And I'm like, "Dude, you and I were Bernie guys. We wanted Bernie. what the hell? You're looking at me now like I'm some fucking Trump guy. It's like,
Yeah.
I couldn't vote for the lady who killed fucking Bernie Sanders. I couldn't do it. I would not be able to live with myself if I voted for that evil
Well,
woman.
I just find that the idea that, you know, if someone believes something other than you, that I don't think shutting them out is ever going to
solve the problem,
to solve anything,
or
you know,
to promote growth or progress or anything.
Exactly.
It's just gonna create like a stagnant like mire of fucking discontent. I don't know.
We're getting way more political than I thought we.
I know we got to
ever
keep
would.
it crypto.
I know, keep it crypto.
But I kind of like the whole like right-left dynamic. Hannity and Colmes.
What was the guy's name? Colmes?
Was it
Colmes? But now Sean Hannity just. I mean, I don't even watch Sean Hannity's show because it's fucking disgusting. But like,
I watched the clips.
I know you do. But
I don't like it. He's okay. I like.
I just don't like it. I don't like watch. I can't watch Fox or fucking CNN. It's just like it's too
It's
like
all
reality
too brutal.
TV.
Yeah,
now,
it's
it's
all
like there's too much staged, shit.
It's all on both sides.
propaganda,
It's
but,
propaganda on both sides.
But I feel like there used to. I think he used to have a guy that was like a more like kind of like liberal guy that they had like a show together. I could be wrong.
I think so. Hannity, maybe that was just two Republican guys, though.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was
Hannity
like
and
more
Colmes.
like a moderate guy or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who the fuck? But
that's a cool
hate
idea.
These fucking like labels like that too.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's they were talking about Joe Rogan, like tribal politics. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's my tribe.
Yeah.
Dan Carlin, he's got a good one with
Who's Dan
Joe
Carlin?
Rogan. He does this hardcore history podcast.
Oh, okay,
it's
yeah.
really good.
I knew the name. I've never listened to Hardcore History. I listened to Revisionist History.
What's that one?
That's the Malcolm Gladwell one.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I'll check that out.
You'll hate it.
I probably is super liberal. I used to love him though. I don't care. I'll look at all sides. He came at Elf one night.
Malcolm Gladwell.
Yeah,
that makes
nobody
sense.
knew who he was. I was like, that's the guy, spaghetti sauce, TED Talk guy.
I would know the fuck he was by looking at him either. But
Yeah, I used to read his Tipping Point. He's got great
A New
books.
Yorker.
Yeah.
yeah. No, Jess reads them. But what's Hardcore History about?
It's Dan Carlin and his editor guy. They just make this really amazing history podcast,
Okay, cool.
and it's really entertaining.
Famous. It's like always on the
famously
top, and-
entertaining. It's really good, and he does all these. He has like clips. I just listened to the one about like the atomic bomb, the nuclear Armageddon thing,
Right.
something. And it just goes to the history from like Truman to Eisenhower, Kennedy, all the whole nuclear bomb creation and adoption and everything.
Speaking of podcasts or radio shows or whatever, did you listen to the Bitcoin episode of Fresh Air?
No,
Yeah, I haven't heard.
Terry Gross
Yeah, I
did
haven't
something
listened
on.
to it yet either. It's on my list. Someone told me about it. They were like, "Oh, did you listen to the Bitcoin episode?" And I was like, "I didn't know." But it's
I'm
just
wary of anything mainstream Bitcoin.
Well, that's
at
what I
this
was going to
point.
say. Is just that it's interesting. I start to see these little cracks. In the story coming, cracks in the cement. The Bitcoin flower goes through. It's starting to come through. And when it's on like something like. It's like one thing to be like, oh, it's on Radio Lab, and they're going to talk about, blah, 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 but like when it's on like Terry Gross, it's like, whoa, it's getting kind of like into this weird mainstream.
Yeah,
sort of
it's
thing,
slowly seeping into the
And I
mainstream.
wonder, sometimes how much of an effect those kinds of things have on like the price and things like that.
Oh, 100%.
People are rushing to their computer and they're just like, get my grandkids over here to show me how to get this
Yeah.
fucking Bitcoin.
I had a friend, he heard one of these things on the news, and he calls his nephew, my friend. He's like, hey, I want to spend $1,000 on Bitcoin. And then so my friend calls me, and he's like, oh, you seem to know what you're talking about with Bitcoin.
Sure.
You know what's up. When's a good time to buy? And I'm like, I thought about it for a second, and my best advice for him on when to buy Bitcoin was whenever there's a negative article in the news about Bitcoin.
Right.
Whenever there's like a few days ago, right before it went to 55, my girlfriend and I were reading this headline, and it was it's like the .com bubble.
Right.
And there was these two graphs. There was like the Bitcoin graph and the .com graph. And my girlfriend and I looked at each other and we were like, holy shit, what have we done? Because we just bought a little more at like 7,000 or something.
Right.
So then we were like, crap. But then, that's when you buy.
Yeah.
Whenever there's an article that's like Bitcoin's gonna crash, it's ridiculous.
Well-
Jamie Dimon says, "Oh, that was some news. Did you hear about that?
No.
Remember this guy, Jamie Dimon,
Is that the
CEO
guy
of?
that's gonna cut his dick off and eat it?
No, that's John McAfee.
Oh, right.
He's
McAfee's the
he's kind of
antivirus
cool.
guy,
He's
right?
anti-Bitcoin Cash,
But
I
he's
think, right now.
antivirus.
Yeah, he started the antivirus
Right.
software.
Who's Jamie Dimon.
Jamie Dimon is the
Pro
CEO
wrestler?
of. He's the CEO of Chase Bank. I heard-
And he's
yeah.
like, he thinks his daughter's a fucking retard.
He's that guy.
Yeah. Nice
Chase Bank was caught laundering money, laundering Bitcoin,
Laundering Bitcoin.
laundering
I did
money
see this.
through Bitcoin.
I did see this.
So this guy's coming out calling his daughter a retard.
Yeah.
His words, not mine. And he's doing the most retarded thing, which is laundering money.
Right.
I mean, if you're in a bank, it's
Sure.
pretty bad, right?
Right.
It's like
Kind of the worst thing.
it's
you
like
can do.
doing the laundry and then peeing on it or something.
But
I don't know. Oops, I dropped the pen.
you dropped your pen. What we've learned through the last cycle of this and your hatred of the Obama administration.
No, I don't care. I don't think
I'm
he
just
was
kidding,
like
I'm just kidding.
a Manchurian
I'm
candidate
just
from
joking.
Kenya. I'm not a
kidding.
birther.
I'm kidding.
I
I'm
just-
kidding. I know what I meant
know.
was and what a lot of people were upset by this though, and is that this banking crisis.
Yeah.
And we bailed out all these fucking banks.
I didn't like that he did that, though.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
You
didn't
like
like
it.
that.
No one did.
No one did.
Most of the American people didn't like it.
But I think that's, well, whatever.
No, but this is
Yeah.
what the problem is.
Yeah.
Is that we bail out the banks and then shit like this happens where they're laundering money because they go like, well, why the fuck would we not do something illegal?
Why would
'Cause
they
we
trust
never get
us?
in fucking trouble. So,
Yeah.
like, why would we stop doing
Where's
what
the
fuck we
punishment?
want? Yeah, that's what it is.
Donald Trump needs to crack down on these money laundering, bank loaning jerks. They're just
Well,
a bunch of jerks. Jamie Dimon.
He's wants 3 UCLA basketball players to thank him. So
Who, Donald Trump?
yeah, that's it.
He wants them to...
He's asking them to thank him on Twitter.
Well, I think that's not so much to ask. He flew to China.
That wasn't why he put that.
He happened to be in China and was like,
just happened
"Hey, get these guys out of." And they're like, "Okay, sure, Donald
I
Trump."
think the guy that actually got him out was even more so was the guy that runs that Alibaba.
I give credit where credit is due. That's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna say.
All right. Hey, they're out. That's right. Right, Strider? That's all that matters.
That's true.
God damn, I want to see Neo go up to like 60 again.
Be patient. I want to see gas go to $100, then I'll be good. I don't care what Neo costs. If gas is just consistently $100, I'm like
Yeah, that'd be great.
checking the cash.
I think that, people need to, if you're interested in Neo, I would say the smartest thing to do is probably to go onto that Reddit Neo forum.
It's that's kind of why I attribute a lot of Neo's success. I attribute their success to that forum.
There's a
'Cause
lot
it's,
of,
very positive.
I don't like going on forums in general, and there's a lot of like, it's the same thing with Twitter where it's like, I wouldn't go on anything where it's like just a bunch of people like tearing each other down or arguing over stuff.
Like 4chan. 4chan's like that. They're
I've
like,
never
hey,
really-
you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I've never really gone on there. I know that like the whole idea of where I just don't want to be anywhere where people are like trolling or arguing with someone else or like how that is on Twitter and stuff like that. But what
Why
I do,
not? Just because.
Well, I like what's that?
Why don't you want that?
I don't want to read troll comments. I don't want to read.
But sometimes they're funny.
I know. I like.
It's almost worth sifting through the crap for the one guy who's
I like funny comments and I like memes and shit like that. But I just don't. I don't mind. I don't want like to just read people arguing.
Yeah.
Because no one's changing anyone's mind.
It's true.
What I like about what I'm trying to get at is what I like.
But it's nice to read the arguing because then you get like, oh, that guy's saying this and that, and you get to
Not
make
so
your
much
own
just
decision.
insulting each other.
That's true. Yeah, that's
I'm
annoying.
talking about what I like about the Neo
Subreddit.
subreddit. Is that it seems like there's people making jokes, like people saying like Lambos and all this sort of shit, but in general it seems like it's pretty positive and people are really like helpful.
Yes.
Like when I thought I lost all my money, like someone
Which
was like,
time that you thought you lost all your money? I think at this point you can say Neo's foolproof, right?
every
I mean,
Are you thinking of how many times I've Texted you.
They're like, holy shit, I lost my Neo. I'm like, did this accidentally resend to me, or is this a new text?
No, but they're like, no one's like, people are like pretty good about like not judging you on there, and like, because
they want you in there. They want
I'm
you
just bad
like
with computers, man.
most
I don't
people.
like computers.
Yeah, a lot of people are weird about them.
It's hard for me to figure them out. That's all I got for this weekend or this week. I just wanted to say that I did just want to say just like if you are interested in some of the things that we're talking about, and then it's hard. I would imagine it's kind of hard sometimes if you don't know. Like if you're listening to this and you're new to it, like that, and you want to know about like something we're talking about, like Neo, like that Reddit Neo forum is a good place to go.
Yeah,
they have all the fucking wallets there. They have all the questions. They have like a really good FAQ. They have like people that are willing to help.
It's way better than it reminds me of what Bitcoin subreddit used to be like back in 2012.
I don't know. I never was there.
I was there a little bit, just like trying to get into it. You know? And people were like, "Does they make a wallet? This is a video." They were like very helpful.
Yeah,
it's all about being helpful. I mean, if you go to like just cryptocurrencies subreddit, just all cryptocurrencies, it's just a bunch of shit talking,
right? Well, you know,
bashing each other. Who's that?
Jamie Dimon.
No, he not.
Hates his daughter.
He's helpful in lowering the Bitcoin price.
That's true, but he's only lowering it. I think you're right. I think he's just lowering it so they can buy.
They can buy some and have more Bitcoin to launder. There was some more news that was really interesting.
You go. I'm done. That's all I got for this week.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any notes. I'm just sort of like kind of remembering. So remember when the Silk Road went down?
Yes. And then that really nice guy went to prison.
Yeah, that guy. So
I feel bad for that guy.
The government seized all the Bitcoins from the Silk Road.
It was like 100 Bitcoin.
I had these numbers written down. Right. You guys could look it up. But yeah, it's like $100
million worth of Bitcoin.
It was a ton
75 million.
They sold it at the time when Bitcoin was $300.
The government did?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
They had an auction in the FBI. I did some research on this.
Fuck.
They had an auction. The FBI auctioned off all the Bitcoin.
Fuck. I wish
and they made.
Got to that.
I think it was closed. So maybe Jamie Dimon was there. But it was. I'll look at it. That'd be an interesting podcast. But yeah. So they auctioned it off. They ended up making like.
I'm going to write that down. What happened to that government Bitcoin? Because we should do a whole show about that.
Oh, yeah, like where it is now. Who bought it?
Yeah.
I bet it's on record. So they bought it. I think they ended up they made a lot of money on it from what I remember. It was like 100 million or something.
I thought it was like 40.
But some guy, some agent involved in the operation, the sting with the Dread Pirate Roberts guy, he stole some Bitcoin. And he recently got caught.
Yes, that
guy
was like a regulator guy.
Yeah, just some random agent stole
He was one of the guys that was busting this guy.
Yeah. He busted him. He found like a hard drive, put it in his pocket.
Yeah.
Looked at it. He's like, holy shit, that's like, I don't know how many. I think it was like 20 or something.
Right. It's
like no, it was more. It was like a lot of money. It was like a tenth of what they sold all the Bitcoin for.
I know some people use Satoshis. I know some people use dollars. I use Game of Thrones episodes.
To determine value?
My numerator, yeah. So it was like one episode of Game of Thrones. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
I watched a while ago and I gave up because I think we've talked about... Why are we even talking about Game of Thrones? What is this? The summer? You're trying to bring...
That's how the winter is coming, Strider.
The winter is here.
I know, it's here.
But it's the winter for the dollar. It's summer for Bitcoin.
But that's how I keep track of how much money I have is based on how I have like 2 seconds of a Game of Thrones episode in my wallet right now.
Of Neo? You have 2 seconds of season 1 or
Bitcoin.
Is it? Okay. So if you take all the hours of Game of Thrones, and each hour is a denomination of money,
right?
You have like 2 seconds worth of Bitcoin.
Exactly.
All right.
That's how I keep track.
And you wonder why you're losing your Neo left and right, Jed.
I found it though.
Got it.
All right. So now I'm gonna sell it all.
Well, just time it right, I guess. But you know what they say? They say time in the market is more important than timing the market.
Right.
So maybe hodl.
So they're saying hodl. So what were you gonna say now? What were we talking about? Oh, so that guy got busted for stealing the Bitcoin.
He got busted, and he's gonna give it back. But it's a lot of money worth of Bitcoin. I forget how much. It's like 50 million or something.
He's gonna give it back. Or
he's gonna give it back. He's gonna trade it for less prison time.
Wow.
from what I read.
Wow.
So that's
Crazy.
kind of crazy.
I'd rather take the prison time and keep my Bitcoin.
I would too, but who knows with the government? They're,
I mean, there's
they're
some goddamn
greedy.
Dutch guy who's like living off fucking berries and fucking running around in a goddamn loincloth right now.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to hodl government Bitcoin. If the government thinks they have rights to that Bitcoin, you don't want to hodl it because they'll do everything in their power to squeeze it from you.
No, maybe
You
you're
better
right.
just give it back and just buy your own.
Yeah, maybe
If you're
right.
that guy,
Yeah, maybe you're right.
unless he did do something where he's just on the lam.
I'm talking about the guy that sold everything and then he like.
Yeah. If you followed in that guy's footsteps, put his little wallet in his pocket and just hit the road
Yeah.
with a stick, one of those sticks.
That's
with
what
the
I want to
handkerchief.
do. I just want to like. I mean, I can't do this, but I want like in another lifetime. I want to just put my surfboard and I want my what do you call it? One of those sticks that's like a hard drive.
Yeah, the little ledger wallet, treasure. Yeah.
I want my ledger wallet with my 2 seconds of Game of Thrones on it, and I just want to travel the world surfing and watching my episode of Game of Thrones get longer.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I don't know about the Game of Thrones reference. You're losing me. Maybe there's some people in the audience that are like, "Oh yeah, now I'm gonna buy Bitcoin."
I'm trying to get.
I get the reference
I'm trying to
now.
get a wider acceptance based upon, you know.
So if we broke it down, so like one Bitcoin is the entire Game of Thrones series TV show.
Sure. Yeah. Let's just do that.
So if you wanted to send
Like, there's gonna be
someone,
more episodes in them, and it's gonna get bigger.
they're mining episodes right now.
They're mining episodes
Of the Game of Thrones,
yes.
Bitcoin version. So if I wanted to trade you some episodes of your Game of Thrones for my episodes, I could trade you 1 second for 1 second of your
Correct.
episodes.
Correct.
I don't have to trade the whole season,
No, it's divisible.
just like Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Tied it back around.
And there's like little characters like
Jihan Wu or Roger Ver.
Da Hong Fei is like he's like Tyrion Lannister.
I'm not gonna go down this crypto Game of Thrones reference road right now.
Anything else? I mean, I think it's a pretty good way to end the episode.
I think that's a solid Sideways Infinity episode 8.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we're gonna try to be back here next week.
And we're gonna have we're gonna do this weekly. We're gonna have a Patreon.
We're going.
We're gonna
Why don't we
do all these
fucking
things. We're gonna
and
do
then
all these
stop
things.
Talking about them. I wonder how many podcasts there. Every podcast I listen to, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, go to my fucking Patreon thing," and like MeUndies, and like someone else is like, "Oh, there's this."
We should
fucking
just start promoting
Stamps.com.
MeUndies. Yeah,
I was doing
just
that.
start promoting all these.
I know. I was doing
Squarespace.
Squarespace.
Go on to Squarespace, everybody.
That. Go to Squarespace.
We
build
don't.
a website. We need to go there and build a website for this fucking
we
thing.
do at some
Start
point.
talking about it.
But yeah,
Well, I think that car revving outside on the street is a reason to stop. The
that's a
podcast.
good signal. Yeah.
All right, thanks, buddy.
See you next week.
Bye.
All right.